What's cracking, people? It's your baby mama's favorite cousin T-Taw. And tonight we have a wonderful, wonderful conversation prepared for you. Tonight we are going to break down, we are going to be covering how to spot a player. Now, why would it be important for anyone to need to appreciate how to spot a player? Well, let's understand, right? Off the bat, a player is a type of person who is a practitioner of this thing that we refer to as foundational game. You see, when you are in the presence of a player, and this is obviously a part of what we're going to cover this evening, you have to be able to appreciate the benefit, the value, the experience, the possibility, the opportunity that is in front of you at a given moment. And keep in mind, a player is not just a practitioner of foundational game. You see, there are obviously graduated levels of being a player. That includes being a Mac and being an OG. So there are levels to the benefits. There are levels to the opportunities. There are levels to the value that a person would do well to appreciate, observe, and put themselves in the position to receive. But before we really get into this conversation, let's bring up the co-host with the most, none other than the OG player himself, Mr. Ram Wills.
I'll be a player for life, so where's my wife?
Ram, how you doing?
I'm all right, man. Like I told you right before the show, man, caught a little bit of cold. So anybody watching, man, you see me put this up to my nose, don't worry about it, man. I don't want snot coming too much on myself. But, you know, my thing is the show always goes on. And just what you were talking about, man, how to spot a player, that's very powerful. One thing, let me just say this before we really get into it, and I know we're going to talk about it more, but every player don't have the same thing. And that's very important. You know, some players, they got that smooth mouthpiece. Some players, they got that great body game, got those looks. Some players, they got that style, they natty dresses. Some players, they can be some ugly dudes. They got the charisma of 10 men.
That's it.
So it's different. See, as a player, you got to spot it. But, I'll get into it. I'm going to see if you say what I'm thinking about saying somewhere later on. So
listen,
go ahead, man.
We always look forward to benefiting from the wealth of experience and wisdom that is brought forth by the OG player himself, Mr. Ron Wills. Now, before we really get into the conversation, let's shout out the earlier arrivers. Salute to Truthsayer 3000. Salute to the master and the chat.
What's poppin', twin?
Absolutely. Shout out to you, Tristan Fitness. Absolutely.
Always supporting us. Thanks, brother.
We do appreciate that. It says, salute to the masters and peace to the chat. There's here is a name here that looks new to me. It says Casilla Angel.
Yeah, that's one of my supporters, man.
Don Rom. There you go. And shout out to Danny. Getting us kicked off. That's right. Get us kicked off with the Sawbuck says, respect to the game, Cousin T and Uncle Rom. Yet another dope topic. Absolutely. Shout out to Kenneth Young. How we doing? Greetings from the DMV to the masters of the game. And Daz9.
What's poppin', twin?
Says, good evening, gentlemen. Now,
One of my supporters. Go ahead, man.
Absolutely. We appreciate everybody who's coming over from Rom's neck of the woods and the Patreon side. Shout out to Joe Blass. Absolutely.
What's up, bro?
Respect to the royalty on the panel. Now, there's so many ways that we can approach this conversation, but I want to make sure that we do so comprehensively. I want to make sure that we do so in a way that even someone who is operating at the most elementary level of this thing that we call foundational game can absorb and receive, appreciate, and apply. Because as we always mention in these conversations about the various ins and outs and the elements of foundational game, how to apply social strategy, how to develop and expand your philosophical curriculum when a person is in the presence of a player, Mac, or OG, there's always a need, there's always a drive or a desire for us to impart value to those who are around us. And that's the first lesson of the evening. How a man and a woman, now let's be clear, most women recognize when they're in the presence of a player. Okay. So this conversation is mostly geared towards men who would do well to pay attention so that they can soak up the ism when they are in the presence of a practitioner. But the first point that I want to make sure that we cover is this: how someone knows and can recognize that they are in the presence of a player is that he is put together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what we mean when we say that a player is put together, his outfit, his
Mm-hmm.
frame, meaning he takes
Yes.
care of himself, right?
Yes.
And his fragrance. When a player enters the room, or when someone enters the room and a player is in that room, he could be wearing the most minimal outfit, a t-shirt and some jeans, right? Simple, no labels necessary. But the way that it's put together, it's clean, it's presentable.
Mm-hmm.
The scent is complementary to his personal chemistry. You see, he is put together in such a way that it makes a statement. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on that, Ron?
Yeah, definitely. Because the one thing in general is women, you gotta appeal to their senses. So yeah, they definitely look like anybody who say looks don't matter. No, they look, but your appearance matters.
Right.
What you showing. And women, like I talked about in my car video today,
Mhm.
yo, oh, they look at you from head to toe. And as my young lady friend would say, they checking you out in milliseconds. So you gotta appeal to their eyes. You have to appeal to their nose. And we haven't even got into how you talking to them, what your voice sound to them or anything. But
Right.
see, that's the thing. Your appearance, that's bait. Your smell is bait. Like smell is very important to women. Shoot, that's a cheat code. I always remember what Issa Rae said. She said, "Shoot, you smell good. That make you rethink a man's attractiveness." So it's like that's very important. See, a player, he know he ain't gonna get every single woman, but he's gonna do what he can to draw women to him. And that's one of the main things. So a player, a guy's a player when he's coming in and he's gonna be dressed right. He's gonna be dressed. He's gonna be very concerned. Even if it's some plain stuff, it's gonna be clean. I mean, it could be a t-shirt and some jeans and just some regular sneakers, but those sneakers are going to be clean. Those jeans are going to be clean. That t-shirt going to be clean. He ain't going to come in all dirty or anything like that. Because think about it like this. Ultimately, what he trying to do? He trying to have sex with these women. Why do they want somebody dirty crawling on top of him who ain't taking care of himself? Why
Mhm.
would that woman want that man on top of her? Think
Mhm.
about it like that.
Indeed, indeed. You know how they say clothes make the man. I say clothes can make the man in terms of how he presents himself to the outside world. Compare this to the way that women dress
Mhm.
and the nightlife, right?
Mhm.
We can ask anybody. We can just have the members of the chat start putting if they've ever gone out to a club, if they've gone to a rooftop party or to a lounge, how are the women usually dressed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Certain venues have requirements. They have dress codes, especially
Mm-hmm.
at a VIP club. You know, those special clubs in Miami and those special clubs in LA. They
Mm-hmm.
don't even let women of a certain height and weight in those clubs. I'm
Mm.
sure I'm sure you've heard of that, Ron, but
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
in addition to that, there is a requirement on how the woman presents herself. Dresses and high heels only. On
Yes.
the other side of this, when we're done with this conversation, I'm going to clip in a very informative video where the clubs have promoters meeting women and men outside, giving them an evaluation on the sidewalk, on the street. Yes, absolutely, Kenneth Young. Live in South Beach is like that. Absolutely. Even before they can arrive to the line to get into the club,
Mm-hmm.
evaluating their presentation. That means their haircut, their outfit, their shoes, right? And their physique, how they have presented themselves to the outside world in hopes to get a glimpse of what's on the inside of a VIP venue. Then
Mm-hmm.
the club promoter walks through the requirements and whether or not the people who are in front of him meets those requirements even before they're allowed into the venue. Now, we think about that level of scrutiny just to be able to get into a club. So for the men, this is just so that they can have the opportunity to pay for a table. Tables ranging from $2,000 to $7,000 in some cases, right? Otherwise, they're in general admission, and that's that's considered where the poverty or the low value people are. But obviously, there's plenty of opportunity depending on who you are. However, the women, you see, the women, they're evaluated for the VIP club access, and they are allowed to come in for free. You see,
Mm-hmm.
so they have to be that much more so on point with their presentation.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Now, why am I bringing up this example of being able to enter, have the privilege or be presented with the opportunity to even enter a space? Well, when we think about how to spot a player, take that same mentality of a promoter, a club promoter who is looking for a certain essence, who's looking for a certain representation, who is looking for an exclusive profile in order to allow access into a venue, and then apply that to the average woman. You see, the average woman is the club promoter of her body, her mind,
Mm-hmm.
and her time. You see? And just like that club promoter for a VIP venue, the average woman is evaluating what man qualifies to enter into her time, her space, obviously her body, into her world, or allow access so that he can provide an experience for her. You see,
Mm-hmm.
that's the first way that you can spot a player. A woman allows him access to even have the conversation because of how he is put together. You see?
Yes. 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 And that's the thing to always keep in mind though, because look, she has to be picky. That's why I always say women choose the men. And see, a man, if he wants to get in there, shoot, she's evaluating him. she's evaluating him from the moment he comes into her eyesight. Shoot, in fact, women evaluate men all the time just on a casual basis. You can be walking down the street and women going to look. They'll look you up and down. It'll be real quick, but they still looking.
Yes.
And they always evaluating.
Yes.
They always, I don't care where you at. You can be in a grocery store. You can be in a grocery store buying some avocados, and a woman's gonna come in and gonna be like, look at you and be like, yeah, he could get it. Oh no, he can't get it. You know?
Indeed. And keep in mind, they're evaluating men for different things to service different functions. Remember the
Mm-hmm.
5 F's plus one, right? The 5 F's of the female gaze. Can I
Mm-hmm.
freak him? Can I finesse him? Can he feed me? Can he father my children? And can I forget this ever happened? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about, shout out to Kenneth Young. He says the average woman won't make the cut in South Beach. Absolutely. And or LA to those exclusive clubs that require a door fee of $100. Could you imagine a door
Mm-hmm.
fee of $100 just to get in for general admission? That is even before they present you with the bottle menu so that you can purchase a section, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just women evaluating men. When we talk about the greater social landscape, everyone is evaluated.
Yes.
Everyone is observed for their potential. You see,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just on the men to have the level of presentation that's acceptable, that is interesting, that's mysterious, that would draw the type of woman who he would enjoy having an exchange with. And there are levels in society that evaluate everyone, you see, and understanding how to navigate those spaces is a part of being a player. Here's the next factor. Here's the next way that someone can tell when they have spotted a player. He knows what he wants. You see?
Yeah.
When a player, macro OG, enters a space, he has already determined why he's there in the first place. He's
Yeah.
not going to be someone that's looking around aimlessly, nervously, without direction, without a point of being there. You
Well,
see?
let me add to that real quick.
Yes, sir.
That's how a lot of men actually lose out with women. They
Mhm.
walking around, they don't know what they really want. See, a player, he already knows what type of woman he want. He know what type of woman that fits into his world. Notice I said his world, because ultimately a player is bringing the woman into his world. He's not trying to find validation from that woman. He ain't trying to please her or find out what's up. He's looking at that woman and say, okay, which one's going to fit into my program? Who's going to be in cooperation with my operation? And what is it I want? Now, what is it? Not just what he can get, because you get some guys out here and they just trying to grab a woman.
Mm.
It was like, no, that's not a player. A true player is going to be like, oh, okay, I want that type of woman, and this is what I'm gonna do. And even if a player is in a room full of 100 women, there's only one type that he wants. That's all he's going to deal with. But he's going to adorn himself in such a way to draw that type of woman. See, on a deeper level, a more metaphysic level, that's the broadcast he's going to give. That's the
Mhm.
frequency he's going to give. And see, that's what a lot of guys got to understand. What frequency is within you? See, if you had that frequency within you, that's what you always going to draw. Even if you at the grocery store buying avocados, if there's a woman on that frequency, she come in there, she will well on her end maybe mysteriously walk over there like, why is she walking over towards avocados? She don't like it. Oh, she check you out. She'd be like, yeah.
These are
But
facts.
on a deeper level, a more metaphysic level, it's your frequency that's drawing her over to you.
Yes.
And that's the thing. That's why women, they know when a player is in the room. Like I mentioned a few times about this woman I work with on one of my 1,000 jobs. Not 10,000 like cousin T-Tall, but 1,000 jobs, right? And she said she knew when I was around, even if I ain't saying anything, even if her back was to me. And her back was to me on other occasions too. I'll leave it at that.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Take me through that. Take me through that.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's certainly a wonderful point that has been made is not only knowing why a player is in a space, but precisely what it is that we want. Otherwise, we
Mhm.
wouldn't be there in the first place. Uh,
Yeah.
so shout out to Tristan Fitness. He's got it right there. When you're staying sharp and mission focused, the women you want becomes clearer.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because and that's perfect. Tristan's Fitness broke it down. You mission focused. Your main thing is your mission. What are you there to do? See, you
Yes.
come in, you suppose a true player is going to have that gravity to him. He's going to draw the woman to him. He's the sun. She's a planet. Planet's orbit sun. She going to come right to him. Like I always tell that story about when I was in that restaurant in DC just eating some buffalo wings. Those were some fine women bothering me. And just to be clear, they weren't trying to get the buffalo wings. They could have went right to like the table. It was like a free food for everybody. They
Mhm.
could have got if they just want the buffalo wings, but they wanted me. And they
There
saw I
you
was right there. They were coming to me,
go. Mhm.
you know? But see, I was focused on myself. I wasn't focused on any of them. They were fine, but I wanted to eat my buffalo wings. And
There you
I
go.
was there really to eat dinner. The women weren't the important thing. But see, that was one thing with my style. My style is always to draw the women to me. See, that's one thing. I don't know if we're going to talk about different styles, but that was my style to always draw the women to me, but always know who I am. Now, some
Yes.
people might say, well, you would concede you this or that. It's like, no, whatever. Those are usually men saying that who are jealous.
Yes.
See, I don't have to do all that other stuff. And see, that's how you got to be. That's how you got to be. If that's your style. Now, we got different styles. I don't know if we'll
Yes.
talk about it.
Yes.
Some people might have to be more aggressive, but then even some people who are more aggressive, they still got to be more like a sniper, and that's somebody just spraying everything and just trying to hit on everything. That don't work because women see that. But if you walk straight up to a woman, like you one of those more aggressive ones, and you talking nice and cool, she still might be down for you. But then still as a player, you still gotta know who fits into your world, regardless of how you do it. Whether you sitting
Correct.
there chilling eating some buffalo wings or you saying, no, I'm gonna approach. I might say the damn principle. You mean to see that woman so fine, you like, damn, let me go
Mm.
holler, you
Indeed.
know?
Indeed.
And in fact, you're going to approach, see, that's one thing. A player going to be smooth about it. He ain't gonna be like, hey, can I get your number? It's like, hey, how you doing today? Talk to her, see what's up with her, and then see if her number's worth it. Cause she might be like, how you doing? You
Mhm.
might be like, damn. Because I actually I remember on one of my jobs, this woman, man, I saw this young lady, man, she was fine as hell, right?
Mhm.
Fine. I mean, fine. Then I heard her open her mouth. Hey, how you doing? I was like, oh shit. Never mind. Never
It
mind.
is. That's right. You have a great evening, miss, and, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It just, I was like, dang, man. Her voice didn't match her looks. Cause
Right.
see, that's another thing too that's very important. You just don't grab a woman. See, and I mentioned that in the car video today. Too many guys be grabbing some woman just based off they look. Man, you gotta see what else is up. The looks, yeah, yeah, that's fine. They get your joint hard. That's cool. But what else is it? Can you have that conversation with her? Is she really going to be in cooperation with your operation? You got to see what's up.
Yes. And so
So, I'll wait till after 30 minutes. I was gonna say something, but
No,
I'll
absolutely.
let it go
Well,
for
and
now.
and of course, that's a great point because when we talk about a player knowing what he wants, even before he enters into a space, as coaches, right? Ram is a body game coach primarily. I am primarily a seduction coach. One of the first things that we ask our clients, and when we're having conversations with men who are receiving our instruction, the first question that we ask is, "What do you want? What is it that
Mhm.
you want from the game? What is it
Mhm.
that you want in a given scenario?" You see? And part of, like Ram said, there's a diverse manner in which coaches teach and instruct students in terms of how our style of this thing that we refer to as foundational game is expressed. And one of the central sort of elements to this thing is not only a man knowing what he wants, but being comfortable and simply sitting in a space and allowing the environment to unfold as what he wants materializes. You see,
Mhm.
what you may want could be something very specific. You can have in your mind, okay, 5'5", brown eyes, a short pixie cut, right? A form fitting dress with kitten heels on, right? There may be nothing that looks like that
Mhm.
at the time that you enter into the venue. What's your favorite drink, sir? You see, is this a venue where there's a DJ or is it live music? Part of why you're there in the first place is because you enjoy the type of music that this venue is playing. You
Mhm.
enjoy the mixology selections that they have. You're observing the bartender craft your drink for the evening.
Yes.
You're enjoying watching and being in the energy of beautiful people as they go to and fro about their business. You see, this is all a part of being a player.
Mhm.
Knowing who you are, knowing why you're in a certain space, and enjoying your own company while you're there. This is even before the type of woman that you desire to acquire and exchange with shows up.
Mhm.
And this all leads into the next point on how to spot a player. But before we get into this next point, make sure that everyone within the sound of our voices likes, shares, and subscribes. Forward this conversation to someone who you know can benefit from this ism, as well as, and let me update the banner here. Let's see. There it is. As well as blessing the
Thank you.
cash apps that is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, as well as subbing the Patreons of the presenters. Now, the next point, the next point on how to spot a player is that you'll know that you're in the presence of a practitioner of foundational game, a player, a Mac or an OG, because he loves himself.
And that's a very important thing because one of the saddest things I see out here, many men don't love themselves. You know, they'll say, "I don't look that good. I don't look like Chad. You know, I'm not that tall." I'm like, man, you gotta feel good about yourself. Cause remember what I was telling you about that dude I know who right before the show,
Mhm.
he 5'9", 300 pounds.
Mm.
But that dude got the charisma of 10 men. He got charisma out the wazoo. He
Mhm.
loves himself. You got to feel good about yourself because you got to accept yourself. You got to live with yourself for a long time. You know, because back in the 80s, right? Look, that's when it was all about you had to look like Prince or you had to look like Christopher Williams or something. I don't look like any of them, but I was like, you know what? I'm cool with who I am. I was still getting mine anyway because I felt good about it. I said, this is going to be me the rest of my life. I'm not going to change. And
Yeah.
see, a player is going to be comfortable with himself. He ain't going to be saying, "Oh wow, I got to do all this stuff. I got looks max and all of this. I got to hit my face with a hammer. I got
Mm,
to do all this." Now, this ain't saying he ain't gonna get in the body game. He ain't gonna let the barber bless him or something, but he ain't gonna go overboard with it. He ain't gonna be saying, "Well, what can I do to lengthen my legs and stuff?" He ain't gonna do all
right.
that. He gonna be comfortable with it. That's why you get some dudes of a short stature. Like I've known a few players. They wanted to 5'5". They didn't care. Like I knew this one player that I worked with on one of my 1,000 jobs. The women called him caveman.
Hmm.
The women called him cave. That dude was 5'5", 130, but he was cool with it because they said the women said it now. He said that he would knock him over their head and drag him back to his cave. And that
Indeed.
dude didn't care. That dude was very comfortable with who he was. I mean, that dude was like a eugenic Superman. That dude didn't care. I remember I played in this rec league football game with him, right? This dude playing defense, right?
Hmm.
He was catching more passes from the other quarterback than his own receiver. They're the quarterback's own receivers.
Hmm.
That dude was just about 100%. But see, he felt good about himself, and he wasn't saying, "Oh, I wish I was taller." I ain't, if he thought that, he never said it around me. That dude
Right.
would just dress well. He would work out well, and he loved him some Amazons. He this one 5'10" woman. I mean, we were at this party. This dude trying to pull her back in the room and stuff.
Hmm.
In that caveman,
Indeed.
highly intelligent, but see, he felt good about himself. See, that's one thing with a player you got to understand. You feel good about you accept yourself as you are, and you improve what you can, but you don't hate yourself. You don't look in the mirror and say, "Oh, I gotta look like this. I gotta look like that other man or something." Shoot, they just fix up the best they can and then just go on out.
Indeed. And this is a question for the chat. And this is a question for anybody who's watching on the restream. How do you know when you're in the presence of someone who loves themselves? I'm going to ask that one more time. How can you tell when you are in the presence of someone who loves themselves? You see, when we talk about the self-love that a player has, we have to recognize that we are referring to a phenomenon that is as powerful as the universe is itself. You see, stars don't think about how planets view them. You
Mm-mm.
see, the seasons don't consider what the elements wonder about the changing. They simply go about the business of their nature. And when a player is at a point in his development, whereas his love for himself is evident to those who are around him, he's constantly gracious. He's constantly appreciative, not only of who he is, but those who present the opportunity to have a positive impact or influence within a given dynamic. You see? That's a good one from Tristan Fitness. He says, they're keeping it real. You see?
Mm-hmm.
When a person loves themselves, they don't have to lie, right? I can be as honest and forthcoming as I need to in a given dynamic. I can be whatever height I am. I can be whatever age I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially, okay, this is great with the dating apps. When I have consultation clients and we're going over dating app profile information, and the client happens to be of a certain age, let's say over 30 or over 35, there is a thought to want to manipulate that, to drop that age down, or even to not have it displayed depending on the type of dating app. Part of the conversation that we're having when we're negotiating and curating that profile has to do with the client being so self assured, so abundantly optimistic about his value add, what he has to offer a particular woman who would be so fortunate to be in his presence, makes him aware that if and when he chooses to put his actual age on the profile line, that the women that select for that are selecting for someone who has that level of confidence,
Yeah.
someone who has that level of experience, someone who has that level of wisdom. Because let's be honest, what a lot of men of a certain age aren't aware of is that there are many PYTs, pretty young things,
Hmm.
who are specifically looking for men that are out of their age range, not
Yeah.
necessarily for the transaction, but
No.
for what he knows and what he has experienced and what he is capable of delivering. Anytime I say what we are capable of delivering, those in the chat know what I mean when I say what we are capable of delivering. A man of
Yeah.
a go ahead. Go ahead,
Let
Mom.
me add to that. Let me add to that. Don't feel like age is holding you back because women know. Because look, I'm showing this gray, all this stuff, still getting attention from women young enough to be my daughters. They still looking and everything. They already know. Just tell them the truth. Just be honest. Be like, this your age. Now, if you feel bad about it or something like that, you lying, you really hurting yourself. It's like, no, this is how old I am. This is what I know because she's looking for the knowledge. She wants that. She wants that in you. I've dealt with many women who were in their 20s, who were in their 30s, as a 50-year-old man, as a 60-year-old man, getting attention. Women know. They already know. Don't lie to them. Just carry yourself whatever. In fact, I have a video coming next week. Silver foxes get women.
Mhm.
Women love that. Just show it because they feel like you did, like as cousin T-Taw said, they feel like you know what you're talking about. They feel like you know what you're doing. They want that maturity. They
Yes.
want it. And it's not about money because you get too many guys out here thinking, oh, it's about money or something, or it's this or that. Learn the game because that player knows. Shoot, I know guys in their 70s fathering children. Come on now.
Indeed. Especially down south.
Hey, but it's what the women want. See, one thing as a player, you just gotta be honest with it. You honest, like this is who I am. You either like it or you don't. If the women don't like it, they ain't whatever. Because the thing is, you don't need to lie to women because they looking at you everything anyway. It's better that you just tell them the truth no matter what and live by with it. Yeah, this how old you are. I don't mind telling them when that's why when I'm doing my car videos, I don't mind saying what my age is. And if a woman asks me, I tell her straight up how old I am, you know? And I'm
Yes.
just like, whatever. If she don't like it, if she's like, well, you too old, I was like, okay. And just keep it moving. I don't get sad or something. Because
Indeed.
like I said, on a bigger level, I don't take rejection personally.
Correct.
I don't take it personally because there's 4 billion women in this world. And every man, if he chill, if without even looking up, if a man is just chill, just doing his thing, being who he is, he'll look up and he got multiple women he could get with. Multiple women he could get with. Shoot, some of them might even be married or something. But if you're a player, you gonna have multiple opportunities. A true to the
Yes.
game player.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about that one. She reject you, she reject you. You don't take it personally. Shoot, even be cool with her. Cause I know a lot of guys don't want to be friends, but shoot, You find out it's like, oh, she ain't interested. I'll say, well, your friend got a big old booty. What's up with her? And here's some game for y'all. I did this during a car video. Like, you get that woman who's just a friend, right?
Mhm.
Just say to us, just say, look, your friend, right? Just say this guy was saying something about her. Don't tell her that you directly said you want to get with her. Just say he had mentioned you. And see what that does is she automatically knows that you're interested. Now, if she's interested, she's going to show some interest. If she ain't interested, she's going to keep her distance. So it's like you shooting a shot, but you're not shooting a shot, and you seeing where she at. Because if a friend is interested, oh, she gonna be real friendly when she see you. She gonna be smiling when she see you. In fact, she might be trying to get with you or something.
Indeed. And let's keep it real. Let's be honest. The reason why younger women, PYTs, young ladies of a certain age seek out uh, men who are more mature, men who are the elder statesmen, men who have years of experience beyond them, is because they are looking for the type of man who is capable of delivering what, of course, Tristan Fitness has put here in the chat. That is satisfaction.
Hmm.
You see?
And see, ultimately, women want that. So a woman, if she can get with that 55-year-old who know what to do in the bedroom. Wait, excuse me. Bedroom. If she can get with that, she rather have that than some 25-year-old dude just fumbling around, don't know what to do, maybe a couple minutes. Because I've heard some young women say that too. Say, those older men take their time. And that's what you need to do. Take your time. Take your time. I remember a young lady told me that back when I was 22. She was like, take your time. Because,
Mhm.
I was young. I was trying to rush and stuff. She's like, no, no, take your time. Take your
Indeed.
time. So
Indeed.
women, because they be looking, and if you carry yourself well, like all you have to do is be in decent shape. And like cousin Tito was saying earlier when we first began, how you dress and how you carrying yourself, that cologne you wearing, the women checking for all of that. She is checking for all of that. And if you all of that, you trust me, you got a range of women you could be. In fact, this Mac that I knew, he said the best age is 40 because then you can get those young women, you can get those older women. So I was like, okay.
That's it. And you can manage a roster of women because you not only have the time, but you have the energy. And so when we talk about how to spot a player, we've covered how he's put together, how he presents. We've covered how he knows what he wants. We've certainly covered how he loves himself.
Mm-hmm.
The next way that a person knows that they've spotted a player is that he loves women.
Oh man. I'm gonna tell you what, man. Let
Mhm.
me let me just say something about that. A lot of guys really don't love women.
Mhm.
Seriously, I mean, seriously, yeah, they are want a woman, they want to have sex, but they don't really love women. You gotta love women, because I'm gonna tell you what, if you love women, women feel it. Even when they do something bad, it's like let me use a crude analogy, very crude. I love dogs, but if a dog bad around me, I'm gonna hit it on his nose. You
Mhm.
can still check them if they doing something wrong or something, but you
Discipline.
checking them from a place of tough love. Women can feel it because even when you looking at them, because I knew this dude, right? And he would always call women bitches and stuff when he wasn't around them, but he saw that would bother me. And he wouldn't do that when he was around a woman, right? Like if he was around me, just the fellas or something, he'd be like, yeah, they this or that. But then he wouldn't do that around women. And I said, no, because if you thinking that, a woman can read that in your face. See, a
Indeed.
woman, she can pick up that vibe, how you really feeling about them,
Mhm.
right? a woman can pick up that vibe, how you looking at them, your voice tone towards them, your look, the look in your eyes, all of that. So you have to love women. You love women, and they can feel it. Women
Yes.
can feel it. They can feel it. They can look at it, your body language, your voice tone towards them, how you looking at them. And you have to love them. You have to. Now, if you don't, you got to ask yourself why you don't love women. And it can't, look, a lot of dudes might not like feel good about women because of past rejection. But what do I always say about rejection? You can't take that personally. You don't know what was up with that woman.
Yes.
You know, part of it could be some on you, which you can fix, but part of it can be some on her,
Indeed.
and it might just be that time too. You might have tried to talk to that woman at the wrong time. She might have just had a death in the family. I hate to put it that way. Or she going through some stuff. You talk to that same woman a week later, she all friendly.
Yeah.
Shoot. She taking her panties off, talking about I won't be needing these. She ready to go.
Yes.
So it's so many things could go into that rejection, so you don't take it personally. And then even if she reject you, regardless of the reason, you're not wasting time with her. Why you worried about some woman? What's she gonna do for you? She ain't gonna be good in the bedroom if she's rejecting you. Think about that. What's she gonna do for you? And plus, if you have that abundance mentality, you just go on to the next woman.
There you go. There you go. And shout out to Tristan's Fitness. He obviously is senior in this thing that we call foundational game. The quote, "We love women because we understand ourselves," speaks
Mhm.
to what Ram was just expressing. We know that this part of any conversation really touches at the core of ism. It touches at the core of the philosophy of foundational game. Because when we talk about how players, Max and OGs, love women, it is a dynamic that is a mirror. You see, because we love ourselves, because we
Mhm.
have taken the time to unpack who we are as men,
Mhm.
all the way down to our basic elements, the at the carbon level, right? Our spiritual essence, right? Our physical, material essence, right? Our behaviors, how we express ourselves through our masculine signatures. Of course, we have uh, discovered and we continue to discover new levels and new reasons and new ways of loving ourselves. And we look out across and we look out and we see this natural counterpart. We see this natural complement. We see this opposite that brings excitement to us, that
Mhm.
brings elements of arousal to us, that brings joy to us, that brings mystery to us. What is she talking about today? Did you? I couldn't understand a word she said, but hello, we don't listen to what they say. We pay attention to what they mean. You
Yeah.
see? How can you not love your natural counterpart if if you truly understand who you are and the nature of the dynamic, the nature of the dance, the nature of the beauty that is a woman, you see? And we're not talking about, as Ram stated, having to be intimately compatible with every woman. No man is intimately
No.
compatible with every woman.
No.
However, it's just like being compatible with oxygen. I love oxygen because it allows me to enjoy life. You see, I love gravity because it allows me to enjoy life in this natural habitat, this natural environment that we find ourselves in.
Mhm.
When we talk about how a player can be spotted, how you can identify a player by how he loves women,
Yes.
a player Mac and OG is going to be complimentary. Women from all backgrounds, of all ages, always remark about how this one man or this group of men complimented her on her worst day.
Mhm.
See? And she knew that the compliment was authentic. She knew that the compliment was genuine because she felt it. And she knew that that compliment could not have been generic. It was curated specifically to her.
Mhm.
Hey, red dress. You see?
Mhm.
Big sexy.
Yeah.
Dark chocolate. Red bone.
Yeah.
Bow leg.
Yes.
Come here for 2 seconds. I just had to speak to something that I recognized when I saw you. Now I know, we're all busy. We're going our separate ways, but I want you to take this with you for the rest of the day.
Yes. And that's something else too. Just real quick.
Absolutely.
A player can compliment a woman, but he might not be trying. He might just be say, "Look, I just want to see a smile on your face for the day. You have a good day now." There have been plenty of times I've complimented a woman, particularly like a black woman on her natural hair, and be like, "Hey, you got some great hair there." Right. And
Indeed.
I ain't trying to get with her. I'll be like, "Hey, you got some great hair. I like that. Hey, why don't you have a
Indeed.
great day today?" And I've done that quite a few times. Everything ain't about that. And they can feel that. And
Yeah.
there's a couple times I've actually done that. The women chased me down.
Yes.
The women chased me down because I was like, she was like, "What? You ain't doing? You ain't trying?" It was like, just a compliment. I mean, I'm just walking along. I can appreciate beauty. I mean, if you see a rose out, like you out and about, you see a rose, you don't necessarily have to grab it and try to own it or anything. You just appreciate the beauty of it.
Yes, indeed.
And see, sometimes you can see a lady, or she looking good, she dressed good, she smell good. You give her that compliment, and you just make her feel good. You ain't trying to get anything,
That's it.
because you focus on your life anyway. But see, you make her feel good. But see, that you don't know. You might have just helped somebody else get the time of their lives. She
Yes.
come home. She go home and pull the mattress out into the living room, and wait for her man to get home butt naked.
These are
Cause she
facts.
feeling so good. He can't even figure out what he eat. And he might think he did something. He ain't do anything. She just
Let's,
feeling good.
let's speak to it, Rom. You getting there? You getting
Yeah,
there?
she feeling good. Cause see, that's one thing the player can do. Make the woman feel good.
Exactly. When
Yeah.
you love something, you're going to speak life into it. When
Yes.
you love something, you're going to nurture it. When
Mm-hmm.
you love something, you're going to care for it, even though it may not be in the best of conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Just walking down the street, you see this woman. She is average.
Mm-hmm.
She is on her way to work. She's having the worst day. She done dropped the bag on the ground. She had to fumble and bumble and pick it up and do all kinds of you've observed her from down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, because you love yourself, because you are a practitioner of this thing that we call foundational game, you have brought it to your spirit to give her the best gift possible. You see,
Mm-hmm.
you brought it upon your spirit to give her the gift of the ASP Holy Ghost.
Man, let me tell you what,
Yeah.
man.
You see, you
Well,
see,
let me say this about just being a player. You can see if you see the beauty of a woman, you can see it in different women, regardless. I remember Saturday I was with my sons. We were in this used bookstore that's in my area, right? And I saw this young lady. and she wasn't like a tall supermodel. She was shapely, but she was a little bit shorter, and she wasn't fixed up. Had some tats on her legs and stuff. But the beauty she had with her, only reason I ain't say anything to her, cause there was a man nearby, and I said I could tell by their body language. I said, nah, he with her, even though he was kind of behind her. I was like, yeah, yeah, I don't feel like any trouble, but I could just see her beauty. I could just feel it. I would have got down on that floor and made love to her shadow, but she didn't look like it. See, different women have different beauties. There was a movie, and it came out back in the 1990s with Johnny Depp. It was called Don Juan DeMarco.
Hmm.
And one of the things he said in it as Don Juan DeMarco is no matter what it is about the woman, he can see the beauty in it. He finds the beauty in her. See, that's one thing a player, especially a player who has a large body count, he can see the beauty. All these women ain't looking like supermodel of the world,
Indeed.
but he can find the beauty no matter what it is. He can find the beauty. I remember when I was in school, graduate level school, right? There was a young lady in there, and body wise, I'd be like, but she had the prettiest eyes. And
Hmm.
then there was another young lady. She was physically one of the most unattractive women I've ever seen. Physically, right?
Hmm.
But then I was dealing with a buddy of hers, and all I did was ask her, "Hey, where's your buddy at?" Right? And she answered, but she answered in the most angelic voice.
Hmm.
You know,
Indeed.
see, every woman has that beauty, and see, that's what all these women want. They want that guy who can bring out their beauty. Like on another one of my 1,000 jobs, there was this woman. I mean, she we did some things. I'll leave it at that. But most of the time, she didn't smile. Most of the time, she didn't smile. She looked like she about to take your head off. But I
Hmm.
got her smiling and stuff, and she had the prettiest smile,
Indeed.
you know? But see, that was that player thing. I saw the beauty. See, I'm gonna tell you something. Let me get you rewind this part if you get this. If a woman leave her house every day and she don't get a compliment or something, somebody don't say something to her, she will probably, when she get home, call that therapist. In fact, she might call that therapist while she out and about.
Hmm.
Women want that. Women want attention, right? And it don't always have to be you trying to get with her, trying to go out, you trying to get something. You just compliment the woman, say, "Oh, you look real nice today. Oh, that's a nice perfume. That's a nice dress you got on or something." And then just keep it moving. That's all you need.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
that's all you need. Just have that mindset, cuz you don't have time, cuz really, player or not, you need to be thinking in terms of what your mission is in life. And you got your mission, you got your stuff you got to do, you know? But they want that, find it. Like even when like I mentioned last week, I know plenty of young ladies that work at different stores in the area.
Hmm.
And when I see them, I might compliment them or something like that, right? Because I'll notice little things like when I'll use my comic book store. When I go to my comic book store, there's a young lady that worked there. She had changed her hairstyle. I noticed that right away. And it was like she hasn't changed it back
Hmm.
because all I did was just compliment it. And
Indeed.
me and her, we have a very specific thing we'll talk about. We'll get into some deep conversations, like one of those deep conversations like we always got to walk around the store, make sure nobody else is there, those
Mm.
type of conversations.
Hmm.
But one of the things, I compliment her and stuff, and she wants all women want that attention. All women want it. Even if that woman is a lesbian, that woman wants some attention from a man. That's why you can get some studs out there who are pregnant. that
Indeed.
that's how that's how deep it is.
Right, and like you said, it doesn't even have to go there to the intimate space. It is
Now,
just a reflection of how much we love women because we appreciate who we are as the natural complement and counterpart. Shout out to Joe Blast. He says this: I was in a store once and a woman walked by. I say, damn, you smell good, too good. She was smiling hard, saying, I never heard that before. Absolutely. Absolutely. When we go back to that example of the young lady who just got off the bus and she was on her way to work, hair was all over the place. You can tell that she was running late, dropped her bag on the ground, scrambling, picking up her papers and things like that. One little compliment made everything right. She looks up, she looks like you said, she could be shooting laser beams from her eyes. You know what a player said? This is what a player said. Hold on, let me take you down for 2 seconds, Joe Blast. I don't want to ruin your shine right there. This is what a player said to that woman who was all disheveled, late on her way to work. He said, give me them dimples. Give me them dimples off your face, and I'm not giving them back until you smile. That's it. That's all he said. Her entire life changed in that moment. Her entire life changed. He didn't say, damn, you got a fat ass. He didn't say, damn, I like them titties. He didn't say, damn, I would love to get with you and have. No. He just picked one element.
Yes.
One element that he knew was specific and personal to her. And the point of that compliment was not to objectify her, but it was to uplift her. You see, players, Max and OGs, we have an abundance of positive energy. We have an abundance of ideas and thoughts, compliments, because we have an abundance of love for ourselves. When it is internal, when it is in you, it is going to be projected throughout everything that you do. And that is how you spot a player.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. That's the thing, because like a true to the game player you'd be surprised how many female friends that the true to the game player even knows.
Yes.
See, you get some guys, they get all mad. They're like, I don't want to be it. It's like, no. A true to the game player is always going to at least have female acquaintances.
Yes, female contact.
And he ain't trying to tap them. Like I said, you just ask them, shoes, you can use them to get other women. I don't know how many female acquaintances I got. I just talk to them and stuff, but see, they will introduce me to other women.
Yes.
They will be like, hey, and even if they know, like I remember on one of my 1,000 jobs again, but unfortunately I was still married, but there was this fine young lady and she said, hey, you want to meet my aunt? I was like, sorry, sweetie, I'm married. But seriously, because a player, they recognize the energy. And see, a woman, she ain't going to try to set up one of her buddies, a friend, a cousin, relative with just any old body.
Right.
They want a certain type of man.
Right.
And see, if you get that, and I lost count of how many times some woman has tried to set me up with some other woman because they couldn't get to me for whatever reason. It might be they got somebody, they going through some stuff, whatever. But they's like, nah, And sometimes they might not just want to get with you, but they see you got something, so they say, hold up, I got this friend and be good for you.
Right. Exactly. And for everybody within the sound of our voices, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Forward this conversation to someone who can benefit from this ism, as well as blessing the Cash App that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and then subscribing to the Patreons of the presenters. Shout out to Pharaoh, what's happening, family, and Masters of the Game. Absolutely. Shout out to Simply Deep.
What's poppin', twin?
Says Cousin Taw, Cousin Taw, and Ron Wills, and the chat. Welcome to the conversation. Now, we've discussed how a player is put together. That's one way that you can spot him. Another way that you can spot a player is that he knows what he wants. A third way is that he loves himself. A fourth way, which is a major way, is that he loves women. Here's the next way that you can spot a player. He is always ready, willing, and able to lace others with the game.
And see, that's very important. See, a lot of guys, like we last week we were talking about hating a player. What you hating a player for? You ask them, they'll let you know. They'll tell you what's up. I remember in college, I knew this guy. He was a serious player. He didn't mind telling me what's up. He didn't mind telling me some things. He because he would just give it simple, and it's not all this complicated. Or see, one thing that's a problem out here, and this is a problem on social media. Guys be trying to make it out like it's some scientific thing. A player just going to tell you right to the point. They
Yes.
going to say this what you need to do. In my book, Nice Guys and Players, I talk about this dude named Jim, and he's a real life dude. If trust me, if he got on here, he would blow us away
Hmm.
because he just knew. And I remember he's the one who first told me, and I ain't get it at the time. He said women choose the men. And he kept it cool. He kept it cool. And women would be, I mean, he lived with his mother. I remember when he was living with his mother, because for a long time until he moved out, women would be camped out in front of his house.
Hmm.
Women would be camped out in front of his house. They were handing him the poo, like these fine ass women
Hmm.
were handing him the poo. But he understood stuff, and he ain't do all this complicated stuff. He ain't have like all these classes, books. This was before that time. He just say, well, you need to do this, you need to do that.
Right.
In fact, he gave me some advice because he said, Ron, you don't have to do all that. You chasing too hard. You coming on like a ton of bricks to these women. Why don't you just chill out?
Mm.
And see, that's how a player is going to do. See, a player is going to let you know. A real true to the game player. Don't hate on them. Just hang out with them and take notes. You don't even have to ask them directly. Don't. In fact, I would say this: don't even ask them. Just be cool with them, and they'll tell you something. If they see something wrong or something, they'll be like, take you to the side. Hold up, man. Let me pull your coat for a second. Nah, man, don't be doing that. Because growing up, I mean, you probably, because I grew up in Southeast DC, and cousin T-Taw, you said you grew up in some rough parts of Chicago.
Indeed.
You would get some old heads who would just give you some game.
Yes.
You would get some old heads. They would just tell you, and they wouldn't tell you all complicated. Their first seed, they might just say, "Hey, you know what? You gotta like do your hair better." They wouldn't say made a barber bless you. That's more like a rhyme original, right? But they say, "Yeah, you can cut your hair. Yeah, take care of those shoes." They'll tell you stuff. They'll tell you little stuff. All you had to do is just follow along, and then
Hmm.
you could like take it from there. But they will try to hook you up. They will try to tell you, don't hate on them. If you're around a player, you see a definite player, just be cool with them. You work with them, just be cool with them, and they'll
Right.
let you know. But see, one of the things they'll do though is if you acting all funky or something, they'll be quiet, but you be cool with them. They'll be like, okay. And then
Yes.
they'll start telling you some stuff, and you be like, okay. Just listen, take that little note, and they'll say stuff like this player in college I mentioned. You know, that dude, I remember he had this girlfriend, right?
Hmm.
And he wouldn't pay any money to take her out or something. And or he wouldn't hold the door for her, right? And she
Mm.
was like, when you gonna hold the door for me? It's like, when you gonna take me out? And she finally took him out, and he was like, okay, he holds the door for her now.
Yes. Well, when we talk about how players always are willing to bestow uh, these valuable nuggets of information, to lace someone up with the game, to put someone up on game if they're at the workspace, at the job site, or just in life in general. Just like Rom said, not everybody is worthy of the game.
No.
See, you could be in the presence of a hater, and when they make themselves known, not only do players recognize other players and game recognizes game, but
Hmm.
players also recognize haters.
No,
And
yeah.
so we understand how to move around them.
Yeah.
And so go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you got to because like one thing with players are just cool people. That's a one thing. I don't know if you got that on the list, but one thing I found with players, they the coolest people. It's like they cool with the fellas. They cool with the fellas. If you cool.
Right.
Now if you acting like a hater, you acting all funky, they'll keep their distance. But if you acting cool, you cool. Be like, hey, what's up, man? They be like, hey, what's up? Then they be like, hold it. And then, they see you cool. They take you to the side, say, hold up, man. You coming on to that young lady too much. You try and get her. All right, this what you do, man. Yeah, man. You need to like shine those shoes a little bit better, clean those shoes, right? You need to do something. And it's not gonna be like one of those things that you have some big old like seminar or something like that. There's some seminars and do it, but when you in the streets, like say you at a gym or something, they gonna let you know. Or you work with them, they'll let you know if you cool. Now, if
Right.
you want some hater stuff, they shoot. They'll be just friendly enough just to get some work done.
That's it. Stay out the way.
Yeah, they'll keep their distance because they'll be like, man, he tripping.
These are facts. And when we talk about the type of game that OGs and Max lace younger men with who are up and coming in this thing that we refer to as foundational game, we have to be able to appreciate the abundance mentality. You see,
Hmm.
the especially when we talk about roles within a workspace or projects or whatever it could be an educational opportunity at school. Just for example, a man who is in the position of a player macro OG has the abundance mentality. He's always looking for the next level. So he's
Hmm.
not going to necessarily gatekeep because that would that would cause two negative impacts. That would cause his own progression to stagnate,
Hmm.
and that could cause a lack of competency within the team.
Hmm.
So one of the reasons why players max and OGs are willing, ready, and able to put others up on game is because the better I make you, the more opportunities open up for me. You see,
Hmm.
that
Yes.
way, the most people benefit from this thing we call ism. You see?
Hmm.
And so the next point in this thing that we call how to spot a player is this. You know that you're in the presence of a player when you observe how women gravitate to his space simply for his presence.
I was wondering when you were going to get to that, man. I was like, I know he going to get to it, so I'm just going to let
Absolutely.
it flow. I ain't want to do it early on, man, because that's one thing. How the women treating them? Like I mentioned, when I go to the gym, when I'm go to the gym, I just work out. I just do my thing. But I wish I had the proverbial dime every time some dude say, "Hey, how you know her? How you know her? What's up with her?" It's like they gravitate. Like like I said, they be like, "Hey, how you doing?" They friendly. Shoot, sometimes I be in there introducing some of the young ladies to some other dude that might be in there. But
Yes.
see, that's how you know. It's like, okay, who the women checking out? Like you go any place. All I had to do, if I'm in a situation like on one of my 1,000 jobs, there was a whole bunch of people. I knew who the players were by looking at who the women were checking out.
There you go.
Of course, some of those women were checking out me, but that's another story.
Indeed.
But that's how you know who the women going to, because the women They want to be around that player's energy. Because remember what we were saying earlier, it's not always about the player trying to get sex, but they want to be around their energy. The player is going to make the women around him feel beautiful, feel good,
Yes.
even if
Yeah.
he ain't tapping it. They're going to come to him, even if he might not be interested. Shoot, he could be married or something. He could have somebody. They don't care. I wish I
Right.
had the proverbial dime. How many times I was on a job or something, and the woman be offering to take me out, be going out, be handing me the
Yes.
handy. They is a bunch of stuff, being real friendly to me, telling me some stuff, telling me some deep stuff. They coming to me and they telling me some stuff. I'm gonna tell you what. See, a lot of guys don't understand a lot of stuff I talk about on my channel. I'm getting it directly from women. I wish I had the proverbial dime for how many women have just told me some stuff, and I'd be like, damn, damn, damn.
Right.
They be telling me some deep personal stuff. And one young girl told me, very beautiful young girl told me, she said, I was like, I even asked her, I said, why are you talking like this around me? She looked at me, she said, because you can handle it.
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
okay.
Yes, indeed. And shout out to K Business. Absolutely. Welcome.
How you doing, son? How you doing,
Absolutely.
man? That's a cool brother. Y'all sub him, man.
Sub everybody who is looking at the screen now and will look at the screen in the replay. Sub to K Business. Salute to you for the sawbuck. What's up, fellas? Absolutely. Ron, when we talk about how women gravitate to the presence of a player, a Mac or OG, let's try to exemplify this if we can.
Okay.
When we think about figures in life who make impact just by being in the room, we think about when I was on my 10,000 jobs, you're on your 1,000 jobs. There were certain leaders who would stop by, and no matter what the energy was in the space, once this leader arrived, could be a manager, could be a district manager, regional manager, or whatever, everybody lights up, everybody straightens up, everybody makes sure that the workspace is good and is it attentive, everything straightens up their clothing and everything like that. Not because they fear this leader, but because they respect this leader and they appreciate the presence of this leader. Because when this leader is in the office, somebody's getting promoted. When this leader is in the office, somebody's getting a bonus. When this leader is in the office, they're bringing perks with them. You see? When a player, Mac or OG, is in a space, women gravitate to our space because they know that by being in our presence, they're receiving perks. They're receiving bonuses. They are receiving that which women aspire to live in. You see,
Yes.
if they can't have the destination simply by acquiring it via the exchange with a player, Mac or OG, they will revel. They will simply accept being in the presence of the type of man that they know can provide the environment in which they can nest. You see? When we talk about historical figures, when we talk about fictitious characters that are larger than life, kids are excited to go to the mall. Some kids, depending on your background, they're excited to go see this one figure around December, right? That one figure is Santa Claus, right?
Yeah.
They're excited. They're so excited that they're willing to wait 2 hours in line. They're excited. They have a list ready. They can't wait for the opportunity, even though 1,000 other kids sat on this man's lap and spoke to him about their desires, about their hopes, about their dreams, about their wishes. You see? Translate that figure into the power, the energy, and the position of a player macro OG. Women can't wait. They'll stand in line. Is he on the work
Yeah.
schedule? Is his car outside? Is he here? Oh, he here. Uh-oh.
Oh
He
yeah.
is I and I am him.
He's here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Because I'm gonna tell you what. When women, they will they will stand in line for the player, the Mac, the OG, rather than dealing with a lot of other guys. See, when women say there's a shortage of good men, they really mean there's a shortage of those players, Max and OGs. There's plenty of men.
Yeah,
There's plenty of men. Shoot, let's just be real with that. They be saying that, but see, they don't want to take every single man. And see, what most men could really learn from is how to have that energy. They don't have to be dealing with all these women. They don't have to do that. They don't have to have a roster. They can get that one woman, but bring the one woman that they have, that energy, and she ain't even going anywhere. She ain't gonna cheat on him. If he double back home one day, she'll just be home chilling, making him a special dinner or something, you know? And she'd be like, "Yo, you here too early. Come on, go back out and come back later on." You
indeed.
know? She don't have to worry he don't have to worry about that. You know, he can send her out. I don't care how fine she is. Because if he's giving her the energy, she ain't gonna want it from anybody else.
Indeed. Well, we have to be able to appreciate this particular point because the fact that the presence of a man of this caliber is valuable to a woman, it could be lost on some people. Let's reverse that. Let's think about the socially awkward person. Let's think
Mm-hmm.
about the socially underdeveloped person. Let's think about the introvert. Let's think about the type of person, be it a young man or middle aged man, who hasn't had the opportunity to be in the presence of a beautiful woman. You see, and there happens to be a beautiful woman who is now at his place of work. There happens to be a beautiful young woman who happens to be at this young man's college or this young man's high school. He knows what class she's in. He knows what her class schedule is. He knows when her lunch period happens. He, why does he know all these things about this young woman who he's never met? Because of her presence,
Mm-hmm.
because of what her beauty brings to
Mm-hmm.
the environment. Everybody knows it. That's why beauty is so coveted in society. You know what also is coveted, Rob?
What? Go ahead, tell us.
The presence of a player.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, man. It's interesting you said that because I thought about like another one of my 1,000 jobs, not 10,000, 1,000 jobs.
Indeed.
Was working at this gym, and there was a young lady who would come in there. She couldn't come. I mean, she was gorgeous. She was a life size Barbie,
Mm-hmm.
very beautiful. But she used to always love talking with me. In fact, when I left that gym, I found out she was asking about me.
Mm-hmm.
Now she had a man or anything. I wasn't trying to holler at her like that, but she loved talking with me. She loved talking with me. She loved my presence. There were a few other women who loved my presence because I was working as a salesman at that gym, and trust me, and a couple of gyms I worked as a salesman. If I had a woman, I already knew I had the money. I was already counting my commission.
Yes.
But that's the whole thing. And this was a beautiful woman though. She had that presence, but she loved talking with me.
Yes.
I would come in there, right? Like let me tell this story real quick. I told this before, but she was a professional dog trainer. She would use the term bitch in its proper context,
Okay.
right? And so she said, I remember she said a male dog tried to mate with this female dog. but the female dog wasn't in heat. And I never forget how she said. She said the bitch killed him.
Indeed. Indeed.
But she was real cool to talk to. Very like very beautiful, real cool. She definitely had that presence. Like other women in her office didn't like being around her. But she was one of the sweetest women I've ever met in my life. But
There
she
you go.
loved talking with me because it was that presence. It was that player thing. It was that energy. And this was just work. I wasn't trying to get with her. Almost got in trouble for this other woman, but that's another story. But
Indeed. But look at what you just said. Look at what you just said. Just like women have female haters because of their beauty, players have haters because of our presence, because of our
hmm
charisma, because of our
yeah,
wisdom, because of our
yeah,
ability to bring value to a
mhm.
space. Isn't that interesting? Our
Yes,
our mere presence is just like the beauty of a woman. It's sought after. People want to be in the room. People want to be next to. People want to be close to, just in the space. Just like with a beautiful woman, because people know that their profile is elevated when they're
yes.
in the presence of a woman. Go ahead, Ron.
Well, no, I was gonna say it's like you always say about a player makes everybody better. You know, seriously, that player is going to have that energy. Like when I've been on my 1,000 jobs, my best workers, when I've been a manager or something, my best workers were always the players, always,
Yes.
every single time. If I had a player working under me, I was like, yeah, I can get this done. I can do this. They would do this, and trust me, on my 1,000 jobs, had plenty of players and they the ones who would get work done for me. But then when I had hater types or guys who didn't want to do all that, I'd be like, just shaking my head. I mean, I had to let's just say I had to check some people.
Indeed.
Unfortunately, because I wasn't nice about checking it. I was like, you fucking with my money.
Hmm.
So and no, seriously, I would check them hard. But the players, dudes good with women, man, they were the best workers for me. They were the best workers. Got stuff done for me, got things done for me. They were always the best because like I said, their thing was they didn't have that hate in their heart.
Right.
They didn't have that hate which would affect their job. They came to do their work. They came
Yes.
to do their work. They will make people feel good around them. The ladies especially would be smiling around them. So that was helping with the job too. Because if, as you know, from being on 10,000 jobs,
Yes.
people when they on the job need to feel good.
Yes.
And shoot, sometimes on some of these jobs when they interviewing you, they try and get a gauge on how you gonna fit in with everybody else.
Absolutely.
So that's deep because even being a player, you go into like there was one job I had, can't really say what it was, but had one job and I noticed it was like, dang, she hired all the players. And I was
Hmm.
like, okay.
Hmm.
I can't say what that was. Some of the stuff I had, I'll just say this: some of the stuff I had to sign some agreements. If I talk about some of the stuff I had, I can, if I make it public, even on something like this, y'all might not see Uncle Ron. Be like, what happened, to Uncle Ron? Oh, he's sitting in a jail cell. It's
These are
that
facts.
deep. It's that deep. But yeah, I mean, see a player. See, a player is about that energy. And let me say something about that beauty and the player thing. Remember what I always say, and it's a deeper aspect to it. A lot of guys don't get it. See, a man makes love to a woman's body, but a woman makes love to a man's mind. See, you want to fix up, look good, but the one thing about a player that he's bringing is what's up here. It's the energy. It's what
Yes.
he's thinking. It's what women like. A mind to a woman is like a big butt to a man.
Indeed.
And so when I say that, now that goes into some deeper metaphysics. I know some people hearing that like what? But seriously, you gotta have that mind right because that's why a lot of guys have some trouble. Their minds ain't right.
Correct.
It ain't about how they look. Cause I mean, I saw something. Um, it was one of these. I ain't gonna give away the what it was, but I was seeing some guys and they were complaining, saying this and that about a woman. I was like, what they big and muscular, all that. It's like what they complaining for? What's wrong with them, right? But then their minds weren't right. Cause
Indeed.
see, that's the thing. Yeah, you want to look good, you want to fix up, you want to hit body gain, but all of it comes from your mind because if you are somebody who studies like hermetics, the number one law in the universe is your mental thing. Your
Correct.
mental thing. Now I know this a little bit deeper than some people want to go, but yeah, I'm more metaphysical than I let on. But you got to have that mind right. And see, that's the thing with a player. A true player, true to the game player, got that mind right. That's why it could be a player, it could be a pimp. That's why some of the deepest people, if you actually sit down and talk to a pimp, they can talk to you on a deep. All is mine. Yeah, that's the first law of hermetics.
Indeed.
All is mine.
And let's be clear about the job site before we get to this next point. This next point, oh man. Oh, we're gonna hurt some feelings with the next point, but it has to be said. But just to put
Okay.
a bow on what Ron was saying about the job site, the comparison between a woman's beauty and a player's presence that deserves its own conversation. However, what I can appreciate being in leadership at a job site is that, of course, we look for players because players run a strict program, right? Players know what it means to the operation to get things done. So
Mm-hmm.
they'll make it look easy. That's why people think that players on the job site are goofing off. It's because they've already completed the assignment, you see?
Yeah.
And women, you ever notice? Of course you have, but for those who are in the audience who are looking, if you're on a job site, if you're at a playground, if you're at school, if you're anywhere and you see a flock of women around this guy and they're just laughing and giggling, it's Def Comedy Jam. For the young people, look it up. It's on the internet. It's a show. The women are giggling, they're laughing, they're clutching their pearls. They're just so excited. It's electricity. Somebody done brought some food. Somebody got his drink, and because he's providing with them with a type of nourishment that goes beyond the physical. You see, the player is surrounded by women in a given space because he feeds their spirits.
Mm-hmm.
You see, before we go too far with that, I want to remind everybody within the sound of our voices to make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Forward this conversation to someone who you know can benefit from this ism, as well as blessing the Cash App that's scrolling at the bottom of your screen, and then
Yes, bless a brother.
subbing the Patreons of the presenter. Now, we got to break a few hearts, Ron. We got to do it.
It don't matter. It
We got
don't
to
matter.
do it. We got to
Hey,
do
look. Hey, look. Sometimes I'm gonna tell you what. Look at it like this. S- Let me use the analogy of somebody joining the service, right? Those
it.
drill sergeants are not nice. Those drill sergeants will break you down. And so, but we breaking you down, but what we also doing is building you up. So go ahead, cousin T-Taw. What do you got to tell?
Oh boy. This point of how to spot a player.
Mm-hmm.
When a woman is discussing her body count, and she says that she has a body count of only 5 people. All 5 of those men are players. You know why? Because a player is someone that a woman can live with herself after the exchange of intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
She can live with herself after experiencing a one-night stand with a player. She
Mm-hmm.
can live with herself after engaging in the exchange of orgasms with a player, Mac or OG.
Mm-hmm.
Such to the point whereas if you were to go to a magazine rack or you were to go to a popular website and just scroll through the top 10 lists of beautiful women, any man, the average man, would brag to the high heavens about having experienced that woman. Oh, I got with her. Oh yeah, I can tell you all about it. Oh man. Oh, she was something else, man. Yeah. But you see, she on the red carpet, right? She at the Met Gala, right? She's in VIP, right? Yeah, right there. Oh yeah, I done took her through that, boy.
Take me through
Yeah.
that, take me through that.
The same thing happens when a woman gets with a player.
Mm-hmm.
She brags to other women about having been with a player. You see?
Yes. Yes.
Because, and this is the point, getting with a player
Mm-hmm.
or a woman to successfully enjoy and experience an exchange with a player is counted as a badge of honor.
Yeah, shoot. Hey, nah, that's some real talk because I always talk about this player that was at this place that I was selling books. I had a book stand. The women, I knew all about what he was doing from the women. They were talking about it, right? He ain't never really tell me anything about what he was doing. It was the women talking about it, and he was just player. He was player. And the women were talking about it. I knew all about him from the women. Shoot. I mean, dude was married too, and this one woman wanted to fight his wife.
Yes.
It was one of those things, but it was how he was doing. It was how he treated them, how he made them feel. See, that was the thing. Women, they going to brag about that. And plus, on a deeper level, though, if a woman's been with one player, she's been imprinted by, her first few guys were players. She's going to always want that. She will pass it. That's why you get some women, they only going to deal with certain men anyway, because they want that similar energy.
Indeed.
They not going to deal with like a player and then want to get with some lame dude or something like that.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
so it's like it's not. I mean, and you can't get mad because of that. That's why when we talk about a woman's body count, I was like, you don't worry about the body count. You worry about that one man who really turned her out.
Yes.
That's the one that she thinking about. And really, maybe not even that, because anybody who's read Sister Soldier's book, Love After Midnight, like the character Winter, she pressed about midnight, but she never had sex with him.
Indeed.
Because well, that gets on a deeper level. If a woman want a particular player, if she just want him, she desire him. In her mind, she made love to him, but he might have never physically penetrated her. I
Correct.
don't know if you want to get to that level, man, but that's how it can be. If a woman want a man so badly, she just want him, and that's the man. That's who she thinking about. See, that's on another level, and nothing you can do to change it. Like you get some dudes, they might think, "Well, let me spend this, let me do all this." It was like, no, she want that one man.
Yes.
And
Let's
see, I just gave an example of she didn't even have physical sex with that man. Now imagine she had sex with that man. And no, he don't even have to be in her technical imprint. He could be man number 10 and stuff, but that's the man. That's where her heart is. That's why I say only man you worry about in a woman's past is the one who got her heart. The one she still got those pictures of, the one she still thinking about. In fact, she might not even tell you. You might have to really dig deep. you might have to dig deep to find out about that man.
You see, in my book, The Seduction Scriptures, there is a section in which I answer the question. For anybody who has their copy of the Seduction Scriptures, of course you do. Why wouldn't you have your copy? If you would like your copy, you can go to the description down below, click on the Amazon link, or if you want your own autographed copy of the Seduction Scriptures, you can go to the website so that you can receive that. But I answer a question. It's actually the first question in the FAQ section. It's page 170. 178. I'm sorry. I asked the question, how would I seduce a famous person? And that question is answered on page 75. Basically, I have what I refer to as the Thanos snap. That is when a person presents a celebrity with a once in a lifetime opportunity. You see, usually it's the other way around. Usually us, having the opportunity to have an intimate exchange with a celebrity is a once in a lifetime opportunity for the pedestrian. You see? But when we talk about someone who is in the presence of a player, a Mac or an OG, that woman is willing to risk it all. If only for one night. You see? And that one night is sometimes all that a woman needs to sustain her for the rest of her days. You see, a woman can get a passport. She can travel all around the world. She can hit all 192 countries, sovereign nation. She can grab the latest handbag. She can acquire the fanciest of shoes. She can dine at the finest restaurants, Michelin star. But what is rare and what is out of the realm of possibility for the average woman is to be in the presence of a player, a Mac and an OG, and be offered the opportunity to have an exchange of experiences, orgasms, and information. You see? That is the value of a player. That is why women are on the lookout for the opportunity to engage with a man who she suspects is a player. You see? Once they have recognized and confirmed that they are in the presence of a player, be he at the job site, be he at the school, be he at on the route. Don't let him be working for UPS or a delivery service so that he stops by once or twice a week. Those who are in the chat and you do that, you already know where I'm going with this. Once the women in office recognize that they're in the presence of a player, your name goes into a group chat, not your legal name, right? They will give you a nickname.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is real game right here. All right. This is straight up and down game right here. Women who recognize a man to be a player, they will assign you a name according to your characteristics in the group chat. Big head came by, or nice legs came by, or sunglasses came by, or nice arms came by. You'll have a whole nickname in the group chat, and they will be spinning it around. Girl, today may be the day. Today might be the day where she hits the jackpot.
Let me just say something, man.
Please go for it, Rob, because you already know what's going with it.
Well, let me just say something, man. Just in general, wherever you're going with, you can still go with it. But fellas, understand that. Understand this one thing. Women be talking about sex. They be talking about it. They be checking out guys. They be talking about it. Seriously. Just know that. And once you understand that, you understand a whole lot. Because a lot of guys treat women out here like they don't want to have sex. No, they just don't want to have sex with you. All right. but these
Right.
women want to have sex. Trust me, that guy come walking through, they checking him out. It's like some of this old Pepsi commercial, right? And all these women, they would like go to the window of their office and check this guy on his Pepsi break.
Yes.
You know, that's how women are. All right, but go ahead, say what you're going to say, cousin Tito.
No, absolutely. What I want to do is impress upon those who are listening to this particular broadcast and who will be listening to the re-stream of this broadcast is that if you have the opportunity to receive some ism, to receive insight, to receive this philosophical curriculum from us and or the actual presence of a player Mac and OG in your locality, do so. You see? Because you have the opportunity to be laced with the level of game that puts you in the position to be the mysterious name in the women's group chat, to be the one that they look forward to having that experience with. That's why it doesn't require money on our part. The transaction is far removed from the conversations that we have over here. It is all about the exchange over here. It is all about how we qualify the women for the opportunity to engage in an exchange with us. You see, it is how we vet women and deem them worthy of our presence, just like a beautiful woman. You see, she has to ignore the majority of men
Yes.
because the majority of men want the bragging rights. And it's just like a player, a Mac or OG. We have to ignore, the majority of women because the majority of women don't qualify for this ism. They just want the bragging rights to have said, oh, him? Oh, yeah, I got with him.
He is I and I am him.
They want to be able to brag that they got with him. You see? So we have to be selective. And that is what will bring us to the final point of the discussion this evening. For those who have made it to this point in this conversation, the final point on how to spot a player. It is the combination of everything that we've discussed so far. It's the combination of all of the value adds that we can discuss in this conversation, we have discussed in other conversations, and we have yet to discuss in future conversations. But if you have your copy of Nice Guys and Players and the Seduction Scriptures, of course, you have the blessing. You have the opportunity to have a further in-depth education into this thing that we call ism. The final point of the evening in terms of how to spot a player. You know that you're in the presence of a player, a Mac or an OG, because everyone involved is put in the best position to win.
And that's the powerful thing. That's the powerful thing. It was like I was saying earlier, my best workers were players. My best workers. The guys, if I had players working under me, whatever job I was on, I got stuff done. I got stuff done. They were best workers, even if I wasn't a boss. When I mentioned that young man, Caveman, he was one of the best workers ever. And like I said, the ladies called him Caveman, and there were a few other players in there too. Whenever I've worked around a player or managed a player, they were very good workers because of that whole principle. Just knowing them in life, they were the best people, best human beings, most helpful. I mean, they were on another level. They weren't like guys like hating on somebody because they getting some women or something or like that. Because first of all, they had an abundance mentality. There's enough women for everybody to go around. For every man, any man really. if he stopped tripping, he can get him several women.
Yes.
You know, he can get him shoes. It's like this young man said doing a webinar for me. Every man can get 10 women. Every single man. He can, but is he actually going to do it? Probably not, because he tripping and stuff. You know.
Yes.
And like I said, shoot, just going to my gym. No, I lost count of how many women that are friendly to me. And when I go to my gym, I'm like very introverted. I don't go. I just do my workouts and I go.
Yes.
But the ladies, they be friendly to me, talking with me and stuff. Be like, hey, and all of that stuff. You know. And like
Yes.
shoot, guys be asking me, hey, how you know her? How you know her? How you know her? I'm like, I don't know. She just come. I don't, it could be a fine young lady in there. I don't go up to her, be like, hey, how you doing? Or anything like that. I might see her around for a few weeks before I say, you know what? We always like nodding each other. What's your name? Like that. And even then,
Mhm.
I'm just very casual. You know, they the
Indeed.
ones be saying something. But it's like you want to be in there. You want to be around those people who are making everybody else better.
Yes.
You want to just be around them, even if you don't have to be among them. Shoot, you can be in a mentee position. It can be an old head, And I knew some guys like that. They were older and stuff, but they were like uncles. They were like uncles. I'm calling them uncles. People be calling me Uncle Rom. I was calling them uncles, but they were players. They were players. See, players ain't a bad thing. See, you got too many dudes out here calling players a bad thing. But who's the real evil?
Hmm.
Who's the real evil? Like, who would a woman rather deal with? Would she rather deal with that player who's bringing her energy, making her feel good, making her feel beautiful, or that nice guy who's trying to use some contract, say, "Well, I did all this for you. You should give me this."
Right.
That's all they want. They really ain't nice guys. You know, they call themselves nice guys, but see, they feel good with that player. They don't feel good with that nice guy. They don't feel
Indeed.
good with that gamesman. They don't feel good with that masked man who's using money and all that stuff trying to impress the woman. It was like, no, she gotta feel it. You gotta love that woman from within you.
Yes.
That's the most important thing. It gotta be within you. She gotta feel your authenticity. She gotta look in your eyes. She gotta hear it in your voice. You see it in your body language. You love women.
Yes. Indeed. Indeed. And shout out to Afi Kingdom, aka Expert Level Wrestling. We appreciate you stopping through. Yes, indeed. Did you know that,
Hey,
Ron?
nephew. I don't know. And nephew be doing his thing. How many nephew? I don't know how many books he got, how many
Yes.
channels he got.
Yes, indeed.
My nephew don't play.
Listen, there's a lot of ism in the room tonight. Okay.
Oh,
So
he got some shoot. Afi got some ism. Shoot,
indeed.
Afi will tell y'all some stuff. Afi will tell you some stuff. Cause let me just say this real quick about him. I never forget. He wanted to do a consultation with me. Within 5 minutes of talking with him, I was like, "What do you need me for?" I
Uh-huh.
just knew that in 5 minutes of talking with him. Just 5 minutes of talking with him, I knew it because, well, game spots game. I
That's
could
it.
tell from his energy and stuff. That dude he's on another level. Y'all don't play around with him. Y'all can learn from him because he got that energy. He got that great energy.
These are facts. And so for everybody who's listening and benefiting from this conversation and the value that has been brought across from what has been discussed tonight, take away all of the points individually and collectively that we have presented to you tonight. There are some gems that, of course, will be converted into shorts, into clips of this particular conversation, but absorb the entirety of the message that's being brought across. We are teaching you how to spot a player, but ultimately, we are teaching you how to become a player. You
Hmm.
see, once you realize that you have the capacity to be the type of man who is whole, to be the type of man who loves himself and has the capability of loving his natural counterpart, that is the woman, and has the ability to approach life with the perspective of abundance, who can make sure that everybody involved is in the best position to win. Now you're starting to recognize the true value of this thing that we refer to as foundational gang. On behalf of the OG player himself,
I be a player for life, so where's my wife?
Ron Wills, and myself, as I always say, this is your man, Cousin T, aka the Alpha Wingman, saying stay sharp and mission focused. Later.